The Valley of the Kings slept, shrouded in the mysteries of ancient times. Ancient sands shimmered under the relentless Egyptian sun, whispering secrets of a bygone era. The year was 1922. My name is Dr. Menes Hassan, and I am Egypt's last archaeologist, a guardian of its hidden stories. My grandfather used to whisper tales, stories of the Pharaoh's curse, passed down through generations. I dismissed them as fables. Now, standing before Tutankhamun's tomb, a chill runs down my spine, a sense of foreboding I can't shake. Howard Carter, the Englishman, led the excavation. He was obsessed, blinded by the promise of treasure and glory. I warned him, the ancients knew how to protect their own, their secrets guarded by unseen forces. Their spirits linger, guarding their final resting place with an unwavering vigilance. He scoffed at my warnings, called them superstitions, but I felt it, a presence that couldn't be ignored, a presence ancient and vengeful seemed to awaken. The air grew heavy as we breached the tomb seal, a sense of dread filling the chamber. Dust swirled, releasing a musty odor, the smell of time, of centuries past. My skin prickled with unease. Carter, however, was ecstatic, oblivious to the danger. He had found his prize. He had awakened something terrible, something that should have remained undisturbed. I felt it in my bones. The ancients were watching, waiting, their eyes upon us from the shadows. The tomb's entrance yielded to Carter's relentless efforts. A long, dark corridor yawned before us. Hieroglyphs, faded but menacing, lined the walls. They whispered of curses and vengeful gods. Carter dismissed them as decorative. He didn't understand. He never would. We pressed on, the air thick with anticipation. The silence was broken only by our footsteps and the flicker of our torches. Each step felt heavier than the last, as if an unseen force was trying to hold us back, to warn us. Then we reached it, the burial chamber's seal, intact, undisturbed for millennia. A shiver snaked down my spine. This was sacred ground, forbidden. Carter saw only triumph. I saw a line crossed, a line that should never have been crossed. The antechamber was a chaos of treasures, golden chariots, jeweled statues, and chests overflowing with riches. Carter was like a child in a sweet shop. His eyes gleamed with avarice, but I felt a growing sense of dread. As each layer of the tomb was peeled back, the air grew colder. The shadows seemed to dance and writhe. Whispers followed us, echoing through the chambers. Carter's men grew nervous. They felt it too, the presence. We found him at the heart of the tomb, King Tutankhamun. His burial mask, a golden visage of youthful arrogance, gleamed in the torchlight. But something was wrong. The air crackled with static, my skin tingled, and the shadows around the sarcophagus, they were moving. In the days that followed, the weight of the tomb pressed down on us. The men, hardened explorers, became shadows of their former selves. Their faces were pale, their eyes haunted. They spoke of nightmares, of whispers in the dark. Then the accidents began. A worker fell ill, his fever burning with unnatural intensity. He raved about a shadowy pharaoh and vengeful spirits. He died within hours. Carter dismissed it as camp fever, but I knew the truth. The curse had begun its deadly work. Another man, a strong and capable excavator, was found dead in his tent. His eyes were wide with terror, his heart seemingly stopped in his chest. No marks, no signs of struggle, just pure primal fear etched on his face. Fear and something else, recognition, as if he had seen something he knew, something that chilled him to the core. Section 5. A glimmer in the darkness. I retreated to my tent, seeking solace in ancient texts. There had to be an explanation, a way to appease whatever we had awakened. My grandfather's stories echoed in my mind, stories of rituals, of offerings, of appeasing the gods. Hours I pored over the brittle scrolls, the flickering candlelight casting long dancing shadows on the tent walls. And then I saw it, a passage barely visible, tucked away in the margins of a funerary text. A ritual, a way to appease the guardian of the tomb, a way to stop the curse. But the ritual was dangerous. It required a sacrifice, a blood offering to appease the ancient gods. My heart pounded in my chest. Could I do it? Could I spill innocent blood to save the others? The weight of the decision pressed down on me. Deep within the labyrinthine depths of the tomb, hidden from the prying eyes of the living, lay a secret chamber. This chamber was not just any room. It was a place shrouded in mystery and ancient power. The ritual chamber. Its existence, erased from official records, was known only to a select few, passed down through generations of my family. It was a legacy, a burden, and a secret we were sworn to protect. Guardians of Egypt's secrets. The air hung heavy with the weight of centuries, thick with the scent of incense and decay. Every breath I took felt like inhaling the very essence of history. Hieroglyphs, their colors still vibrant despite the passage of time, covered every inch of the chamber walls. They told stories of gods, pharaohs, and ancient rituals. Depictions of gods and monsters, life and death, intertwined in an intricate tapestry of symbolism. Each figure seemed to come alive under the flickering torchlight. A shiver ran down my spine as I recognized the central figure in the murals, Anubis, the jackal-headed god of the underworld. His gaze seemed to follow me, judging my every move. This was a place of power, a place of ancient magic. The very air seemed to hum with energy, as if the walls themselves were alive with the secrets they held. And it filled me with a sense of dread, unlike anything I had ever felt before. The weight of responsibility pressed down on me, making it hard to breathe, but I had come too far to turn back. My determination was stronger than my fear. I had a mission to complete. The curse was spreading, claiming more victims with each passing day. Time was running out, and the stakes had never been higher. I had to complete the ritual, for the sake of my team, for the sake of Egypt. Failure was not an option. The air crackled with energy, a palpable tension that seemed to vibrate through my very bones. The scent of lotus and myrrh filled my nostrils, a heady mix that grounded me in the moment. My hand trembled as I held the obsidian blade, its polished surface reflecting my fear-stricken face, a mirror to my soul's turmoil. The ritual passed down through generations of my family was both intricate and terrifying, a dance with the unknown. Each gesture, each chanted word felt like a step closer to the abyss, a descent into the depths of eternity. The chamber seemed to pulse around me, the hieroglyphs on the walls coming alive in a macabre dance, whispering secrets of the past. Shadows stretched and twisted, taking on monstrous forms as if the very darkness had a life of its own. My heart hammered against my ribs, threatening to burst out of my chest, each beat a reminder of my mortality, but I pressed on. Fear giving way to a strange sense of purpose, a calling that I could not ignore. And then it hit me, a realization so profound it shook me to my core, a wave of cold, ancient power washing over me, seeping into my very being. My vision blurred, the world around me fading, my breath caught in my throat, a gasp of both awe and terror, and through the haze I saw him, a figure emerging with an aura of undeniable power, a figure of immense power and terrible beauty. Anubis, the guardian of the afterlife, the god of the dead, stood before me, a silent sentinel of eternity. The air around Anubis crackled with raw power. His eyes, burning like molten gold, seemed to pierce through me, reading my very soul. Terror, primal and consuming, threatened to overwhelm me. But I clung to the last vestiges of my courage, my voice a dry whisper as I recited the final incantation. The obsidian blade felt heavy in my hand, a life for a life, the ancient law. But as I looked into Anubis's eyes, I saw not malice, but a profound sadness, a weariness that spoke of eons spent guarding the realm of the dead. And in that moment, I understood. The curse wasn't a punishment, it was a warning, a desperate plea from beyond the veil. The ancient kings did not want to be disturbed. Their rest, hard-earned after a lifetime of ruling, was not to be disrupted by the greed of men, and the price for such transgression as I was about to learn was high indeed. The weight lifted. The shadows receded. The air, no longer thick with dread, felt almost lighter. Anubis was gone, vanished as quickly as he had appeared. The ritual was complete, the curse lifted. But the experience left an indelible mark on my soul. I left the Valley of the Kings a changed man, haunted by the memory of Anubis, forever marked by the encounter with the divine. The treasures of Tutankhamun, once so alluring, now seemed like trinkets compared to the wisdom of the ancients. The dead, I realized, were meant to remain undisturbed. Their tombs, not treasure troves to be plundered, but sacred spaces to be respected. And so I dedicated my life to protecting their legacy, ensuring that the lessons learned within the depths of Tutankhamun's tomb would never be forgotten. The pharaohs may rest, but their stories live on, a chilling reminder of the ancient pact between the living and the dead.